Good afternoon, guys. It's noon, and most people told me that they're going to watch recorded lectures. So as I promised earlier, I'm going to be here from noon till 1:30, and you can chime in if you want to. I'll be available to take your questions. Now, if people don't show up, I want to upload something, right? So what I'm going to do is the whole recording will be in a lecture format, and I'm going to be uploading some of the problems that I have assigned you. And this, if you can hear me, this is of course being recorded. So I'm going to show you which problems I'm doing. For instance, today, the plan is to go to our course, and these problems that I have assigned, we are still working on fractions 2 packet. I think we're going to work on the traveler problem. I don't know which number it is. It's one of the problems here. So my plan is to come here, do some of the fractions 2 problem. They will be available for you to watch later. I will try to upload parallel problems on BlazeView for you to practice. Some of the problems have been uploaded in this folder called additional problems done in class. Now, here's the deal. Since if nobody is going to be there, I will tend to go a little faster. I'll try not to talk too fast, but when students are here, they tell us, can you do it again? Can you explain that again? That slows us down. Since we won't have that, I will cover a little more. Now, to compensate for that, I will record my lesson for 1 hour. From noon till 1, I will be recording and solving problems. I'll hang around for another 30 minutes in case you have questions. But if you want to chime in anytime between 1 till 1:30, I should be around. And you can come and ask me questions. I'll answer your questions. You can watch me record and say, can you explain it again? So I hope this makes sense. So I'll continue my lecture from wherever we left off last time. For instance, I think we didn't do this problem. I'm going to work on this problem. So let's go ahead and work on it. So this is from fractions packet. It's problem 15. I'll try to do it slowly. Okay. So this is a difficult problem. You want to make sure you understand. We're going to do it a little in a non-traditional manner. Okay. So half the battle is understanding the question. 3 travelers are sitting by the fire and they're about to eat a meal. The first one has 5 loaves of bread. The second one has 3 loaves of bread. The third one has no bread, but she has 8 quarters. And the third passenger traveler is saying that I am willing to spend all 8 of my quarters and give me some bread. And they all decide that they're going to take the 8 loaves and split the 8 loaves into 3 equal parts. And everybody gets that. Now, the catch is, if they had 9 loaves, everybody would receive 3 loaves. So they don't have 9 loaves. What do they have? They have 8 loaves. And it's not so easy to divvy up 8 into 3 equal parts. So we'll kind of employ a clever trick. I'll tell you what I mean by that. So the grid you see here is just grid for me to draw. Okay, I just randomly chose those numbers, whatever by whatever. Okay, so traveler 1, I'm going to call this person traveler 1, T1. She has 5 loaves. Now, I am going to take each loaf and cut it into 3 pieces and give it to traveler 1, traveler 2, traveler 3. I'm going to grab the second loaf, cut it into 3 pieces, give 1 to traveler 1, 1 to traveler 2, 1 to traveler 3. I'm going to grab the third loaf, cut into 3 pieces, give it to each traveler. This guarantees equal sharing. So let's say everybody's loaf will be divided into 3 equal parts, and this is how we're going to shade it. This is the first loaf of, let's just say, traveler 1. I don't think it really matters at this point. So I divided, I'm going to make it a little bigger. Sorry, I'm going to make the loaves a little more bold. So this first loaf was cut into 3 parts. Each, this is 1 part, 2 parts, 3 parts. Now, traveler 1 didn't have 1 loaf. She had 5 loaves. So take all of her 5 loaves, cut it equally into 3 parts. So let's make sure we do it nicely. And that's a very important part of our problem. Draw the picture accurately and nicely so that you don't mess up. Okay, so traveler 1 has 5 loaves. I'm gonna cut up each loaf into 3 equal parts and give each slice to each traveler. Traveler 2 has 3 loaves right here. Traveler 2 has 3 loaves, and her loaves will be divvied up exactly the same way and distributed among the 3 travelers. And you're going to soon see why we're doing it this way, why this makes sense. So I have 8 loaves. Now the good news is 8 loaves, each loaf cut into 3 pieces makes 24 slices, and everybody gets 8 slices. So let's write it down. I have 8 loaves. Eight loaves is equal to 24 slices. Each gets 24 divided by 3, or 8 slices. So that's very helpful. Okay, this is one way we are trying to avoid fractions. Okay, once again, traveler 1 had 5 loaves, and each loaf was cut into 3 slices. And of course, from this statement, we can conclude that she should receive 8 slices. And this is how I'm going to give her T1. She gets 1. T1 stands for the slice that traveler 1 gets. Okay, traveler 2 also gets 8 slices, and she is going to get her 8 slices from the bread she has. She has enough bread. She really has 9 slices. Okay, she had 3 loaves. That gives her 9 slices. So traveler 2 will keep 8 slices from her 3 loaves. So she's not getting anything from traveler 1. Now, the good news is the remaining slices right here. Excuse me. I apologize for that. The remaining slices are going to go to traveler 3. So once again, the 8 slices that traveler 1 received are coming from her loaves. The 8 slices that traveler 2 received are also coming from traveler 2's loaves. So traveler 2 is giving away 2 slices. And that's important, guys, okay? So I'm going to make that color. Make that color blue. Doesn't matter really what I make the color, but I'm going to make it blue. I'll tell you why in a minute. Take a look. The blue slices go to traveler 3, and I am going to write 3 here. I am going to write 3 here. All right, so it makes sense. Traveler 3 also receives 8 slices. She's happy. Now, she happens to have 8 quarters. Okay, so how should she divvy up the quarters? Makes sense to say if she's willing to give away all the quarters or coins she has. So she's going to say, it makes sense to say, all right, Traveler 1 gave me must have goofed something. No. Let me pause there a little bit. Let me see if I messed up. Okay, I messed up a little bit, but nothing major. So what happened here, guys? This, remember, Traveler 2 gets 8 slices. So this goes to Traveler 2. Now we're good. Okay, once again, Traveler 2 gets 8 slices like we promised. Traveler 1 gets 8 slices like we promised. And Traveler 3 also gets the remaining slices, 8 slices. So it makes sense to say that Traveler 2 should receive 1 quarter. She only gave 1 slice. And Traveler 1 should receive 7 quarters because she gave away 7 slices. So I'm going to write my answer here. T1 gets 1 quarter. T2 gets 1 quarter, and T1 gets 7 quarters. That's my answer. I'm going to pause here a little bit, but there's no need to pause too much. I'm going to go and do the next problem. If you want me to do, if you have any questions about these videos, you can always come back the next day, ask me to do 1 or 2 more, that I tried your Traveler problem, but I still need a little bit of help, but you have to come and tell me. Okay, I'll be happy to do another one or help you out. So my answer is Traveler 1 receives 7 quarters. Traveler 2 receives 1 quarter. Now you're going to try this at home. Number 16. I have also added some extra problems in additional problems done in class folder. Let me show you once again right here. There is this Traveler problem. Try some of these. I did one. You're going to try the rest. If you need more help, like do another one, do another one. That's why you want to come to class. You can always come to class and say, hey, I need help with the Traveler problem. Can you do one more? Okay. So that's totally fine. So let's see where we are here. Working on this, I'm going to assume 15 and 16 are done. I'm going to jump to 21, 21, 22, so on and so forth. Let's see what 21, 22 look like. Okay, this is not a bad problem. Okay, it's a little tricky, but we'll work on it. We have done, I think, a few problems like this. All right, so let's read problem 21. A young man spent a quarter of his allowance on a movie. Okay. He spent 11/18 of the remainder. And this is very important. It didn't say 11/18 of the allowance. It says 11/18 of the remainder on after school snacks. And then from the remaining money, he spent $3 on a magazine, which left him with 1/24 of his original allowance. Now, I can start with a fancy rectangle, right? But I am going to just pretend this problem is set up this way. So I kind of know that because I've played with it in the past. I'm going to pretend this 24 is a good choice, 1/24. I'm going to pretend his entire allowance is basically has 24 equal parts. How you draw your 24, it really doesn't matter. think I have 24 here. Okay. This is his whole allowance. I chose the largest denominator because we'll see how things work. Okay. So this 24, I chose from here. Okay. So let's read it. So 1/4. What's 1/4? Well, it's not too bad. This is half. This is whole thing. It's 3/8. So this is half. This has to be a quarter. Okay. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. So this is 1/4. Okay. This was spent on a movie. All of this, these 6 cells were spent on a movie. And how am I going to do it? I'm just going to write M here, M here, M here, M here, M here, M here. This is gone. All right. This is all gone. Okay. I'm not worried about it. Now, 11/18 of the remainder. So read it nicely. Okay. Read it carefully and make sure you understand what's going on. 11/18. How many cells are left, guys? If you count, you're going to see, let's count it properly. Let's count it properly. And by proper, I mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. There are exactly 18 cells left. So we're lucky. Okay. 11/18 of the remainder was spent on snacks. All right. So there are 18 cells here. I'm going to fill 11 of them with the letter S for snacks. S, 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 S. So far, I used 9 of them. I have 2 more to go. Okay. Now, all the S's were spent on snacks. Then from the money remaining, he spent $3 on a magazine and he was left with 124. That's very important. So this is what he was left with. Okay. This is very important. And let's make sure we kind of put a different color. So what is left over is the blue cell, 124. It doesn't matter which one you shade. I'm going to write L here, capital L. Okay. On purpose. Why? Because it's important. So it doesn't matter which cell you shade. So now the important question is, this must be the $3 right here. And you want to really get that. All of this must be the $3. Why? Because that's what it says. He spent $3 on a magazine and he was left with 1/24 of the original amount. So his original allowance had 24 equal parts. He was left with only one of those 24 parts. And to address that, $3 right before he was left with the 1/24, he spent $3. So these are the cells that must represent $3. And let's change this color to something. Okay. Let's make it green. It'll just help us say it nicely. Okay, now you really want to pause here and kind of, well, actually, guys, I'm going to change this color to orange. I'll tell you why. Okay, and I'm going to make this orange. So the magazine, he spent $3 on a magazine. The 6 cells must represent $3. So I need to find the value of each cell. So 6 cells represent $3. One cell must be, oh, that's easy. 3 divided by 6. $3 divided by 6, which is actually 50 cents. I'm just going to write $0.5. It's really 50 cents. So again, I used all the facts given in my problem to infer that each cell is worth 50 cents. $3 spent on a magazine must represent the 6 orange cells. L represents the leftover, which is 1/24. Now, what are they asking us to find? How much was his allowance, original amount? Well, original amount had 24 cells. Each cell is 50 cents. So I'm going to say his allowance was 24 times 50 cents. You can write it like this, which will turn out to be $12. You got $12. So that's our problem number 21. All right, moving on. Okay, let's take a look at our assignment. We did 21. Let's try 22. Okay, this one. Oh, I see. Let me make a little adjustment, guys. This is correct. His entire allowance was $12, but the question actually says how much of his allowance was saved. So it would be this blue cell, which actually will be 50 cents. Okay, so your real answer is going to be 50 cents. Why? The question doesn't want you to find his whole allowance. It wants you to find how much money did he save. And after he bought the magazine, he saved 1 cell, and 1 cell is 50 cents. So the answer is 50 cents. Sorry about that, but it's here. We fixed it. Helps to see the answers. Okay. This one, 22, is very similar to this one. Okay, very similar. We'll walk you through. John spent a quarter of his life as a boy growing up from birth till college. And he spent a sixth of his life in college, half of his life as a teacher. So we have a bunch of fractions, 1/4, 1/6, 1/2. And he spent the last 6 years in retirement. How old was he when he died? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use 12 cells to represent his entire life. Why 12? 12 is divisible by 4. 12 is divisible by 6. 12 is also divisible by 2. You can use 24, not a problem. So I'm going to just stick to 12 and see what I can do. So this is, I'm going to just draw one line. Let me just do it right here. Okay, so I am going to say 1/4. If this is 12, 12 cells, 12 units represent the person's John's whole life. So 1/4 of 12 is what? Okay, 1/4 of 12 is 3. John spent a quarter of his life as a boy. So this was spent as a boy. He was young. Okay, 1/6. Okay, what's 1/6 of 12? Well, if I'm not mistaken, it's 2. So 2 of the cells were used. He was a college student during these 2 next cells. Half of his life. What's half of 12? It's 6. So I'm going to use 6 cells to represent his life as a teacher. The last 6 years, okay, that has to be this. This has to be the last 6 years. All right. Now, what do they want us to? Want us to find how old was he when he died. So I'm using a strip of 12 cells to represent his whole lifespan. And out of these 12 cells, the last cell was used to represent 6 years from the blue statement here. Just this much. I can shade it back. So the last cell is 6 years. So each cell is 6 years. So his whole life is 12 times 6. That's how old he was when he died. I'm going to pause here a little bit. Again, if you don't understand something, come to class and tell me, can you do another one? Or can you explain? Now, this very problem, I'm going to make a little commentary. This problem is hard to change because if I change the numbers, even this, some people will say, oh, spent too many years in college and all those things. And I have an answer for it. He got a PhD and all that. But anyway, the point is hard to change. But if you can follow and do something very similar, very close to it, you'll be fine for my class. All right, so we did 22. Let's go back. We did 22. Let's try 29. Oh boy, this is a hard problem, guys. Okay. This is a fairly difficult problem, so I'm going to try to do my best. I will solve at least 2 versions, but if you don't understand it, you have to come and see me. You will see this problem on the exam. Okay. I will post some practice problems today. It's a very important problem. I hope you're listening. You're going to see a version of it on the exam. It's a difficult problem. And one of the things people find difficult about this is the language. Okay, read it very carefully. An airline passenger fell asleep halfway to her destination. Now, this is not a hard sentence to follow. Okay. Let me see what else I can do. I will actually use a different setup to solve this problem. Let me see. So this is very easy. This part is not difficult to the blue line. Okay, the blue sentence. Now the next part is hard. I don't know why. It came from an early childhood math book. I even have the source. I really like it. For some reason, people don't follow the red sentence. Okay, so if this is the situation here, this is the whole trip. Okay, she fell asleep right in the middle. All right. Now, I am going to do a few things so that my picture looks very different, very clear. Picture is very clear. Let me orient it like this. All right. I am going to make, again, follow me very carefully. If you don't understand what it is that I'm trying to say, come to class. So this is the whole trip. Starts here, ends here. Okay. She fell asleep halfway right here. What's that supposed to mean? Well, that's not too difficult to follow. This is right in the middle. She fell asleep. Let's make this a little thicker. All right. Now, so far, so good, I would like to believe. When she awoke, okay, again, she fell asleep here. She woke up somewhere here. somewhere here. She woke up somewhere here. And when we say distance remaining, this is what they're talking about. And when they say distance traveled while she slept, they're talking about this. Again, I'm going to pause here a little bit and or at least repeat it. So she woke up somewhere. She fell asleep here at the red mark. She woke up at the green mark. All right. I don't know where it is. I don't know. I'm going to actually go here and make it. Okay. I don't know exactly where she woke up. It's not very clear yet. I'm going to find out. Okay. Now, the blue part, I'm going to make this blue so that we can talk about it nicely. And I'm going to make this part green. And this part orange. Really, colors don't matter here. All right. Once again, this is half. She's awake here. Wake. She's awake here too. She's awake here too. She's asleep here. Between these two green lines, she's asleep. Okay. Now, the catch is, again, read the red line. It says, when she awoke, the distance remaining is half the distance traveled while she slept. Distance traveled while she slept is this. And distance remaining is the blue part. This red sentence tells me, again, I'm going to say it nicely. The red sentence allows me to conclude the blue part is half the green part. Read it, process it. That's the only interpretation there is. The blue strip must be half of the green strip. Now I can go split it and all that, but I'm not going to worry about it. In class, when I do it on the board, I just write this is 2 units. What do we mean by 2 units? It could be 2 hours. It could be 2 minutes. It could be 20 minutes. If this is 2 units, this has to be 1 unit. But remember, guys, this sentence tells me she fell asleep halfway. So if this is altogether 3 units, orange has to be 3. Clear? And let's enter them right here. 3. First, I'm going to say if this is 2. This is 2. This is 1. The red sentence tells me the blue part is half of the green part, so I can say that. And the blue sentence tells me she fell asleep halfway to her destination, so this is halfway. So if on the right-hand side of the green mark you have 3 units, on the left-hand side you must have 3 units. Hence, I'm going to write 3 here. Okay, and the picture is okay, accurate. So I'm going to draw this final conclusion. I am going to say if her whole trip was made of 6 units, she was asleep for 2 of those 6 units. So she is going to go with what part of the entire trip did she sleep? Entire trip was 6 units long, which contains the orange strip, the green strip, the blue strip. She was asleep during the green strip. So the answer is 2 over 6, which is 1/3. I'm going to do one more problem like this. I know it's very difficult. In class, I spend like some time. I did spend like, like half an hour of my class on just this problem. So I'll be happy to do one more. I'm going to copy paste this problem and do another one for you guys. Okay. All right. So you will see more problems on BlazeView. And I know I'm repeating myself. This problem will show up on the exam. If you need extra help, come and see me during or make an appointment, Zoom appointment. Hopefully the videos do help, hopefully. So let me grab this problem. This is our 29 from our right here, 29. And I'm going to do at least one more. And I'm going to do it from scratch. And I know we're being recorded. I'm going to call it 29A so that I kind of know I've done more than one version. So, all right, not relevant anymore. And 1/3 is the answer to the previous problem. I'm going to change the question. I'm not going to change the first half. I'm going to make this 1/3. So this is my new question. An airline passenger fell asleep halfway to her destination. When she awoke, the distance remaining is 1/3 of the distance traveled while she slept. Again, I would really encourage you to pause the video right now and try the problem on your own. Okay? Now, of course, I'm going to go ahead and do it. So the blue sentence is very easy. This is the whole trip. And she fell asleep halfway. So cut it into 2 equal parts. All right. So I'm going to, like before, the left-hand side, I'm going to make it orange. The colors, they're not that important, but I'm going to make it orange. The first half of the trip, she was asleep. She falls asleep right here, right here. She falls asleep right here. She wakes up somewhere here. Now read the red sentence. It says, when she awoke, let me change the color. She woke up at the pink mark. She fell asleep at the green mark. Okay. The question says, when she awoke, the distance remaining, which is this, is 1/3 the distance traveled while she slept. This was the distance traveled while she slept. That red sentence allows me to conclude the pink part is 1/3 of the blue part. So let's see if I can represent this nicely and kind of go over it once again. Insert. And those of you who are going to be drawing it on a piece of paper on the exam, of course, you don't have to be accurate, but you do have to understand that that's what it is. I'm gonna tell you what I mean by that. So this part, I'm gonna make it blue. And the green part, I'm gonna make, this is the part where she's asleep. Once again. At this point, she falls asleep. At this point, she wakes up. All right. And the question says, the red sentence says, when she awoke, which is the pink marker, the distance remaining was 1/3 of the distance traveled while she slept. So basically, the red sentence tells me the blue strip is 1/3 of the green strip. So if I assign this number 3 here, this has to be 1. Again, what is 3? It could be 3 hours. It could be 30 minutes. If the green strip is 3 units long, the blue strip has to be 1 unit long. That's the only way the blue strip will be 1/3 of the green strip. Now, the orange strip is 1/2. Okay, so the blue marker is the midpoint of the trip. If on the right-hand side of the blue marker, you have 4, on the left-hand side, you have to have 4. Okay, now the question is, what fraction of the entire trip was she asleep? I am going to say the whole trip was 7 units long. Let's write it down. The whole trip was 7, let's say 7 hours. I'm just going to say units, 7 units long. And she was asleep for 3 of those 7 hours. So the answer is 3/7. Let me count. So 8, 3/8. I'm sorry. Okay, so this has to be 4 plus 3 is 7, 7 plus 1 is 8. This is 8, and the answer is 3/8. The whole trip was 8 units long. I accidentally wrote 7, and she was asleep for 3 of the 8 hours. So the answer is 3/8. Now on the exam, I'm not going to mess with this half too much. I will mess with this number. Okay. Again, this problem is a difficult problem. If you're struggling with it, come and see me. I'll be happy to help you and practice some of the problems that I'll be uploading today after class. Let's see what else is going on here. 29, 30. This one is 29. Okay, 30 is, it's here, right? I did a different version of 29. So you're going to try 30. And actually, guys, let me try 30 as well. Okay, I know we can see the answer. So let me try 30 as well. So as promised, the half, we didn't mess with half too much. Make this color blue. I'm going to make this color red. To me, when I shade something red, I know it's hard. So the first strip, the first part is fairly straightforward. This is the whole trip. She fell asleep halfway, split into two halves. Okay, and take the first half and shade it orange. We're just sticking to those colors, not that you have to. All right, now the hard part, the red sentence. All right, she falls asleep at this midpoint pink. She gets up here somewhere. She wakes up somewhere here. This is the distance remaining. Okay, and this is the pink strip is the distance traveled while she slept. According to the question, the green part is 2/3 of the pink part. That means if you assign 3 to the pink part, you have to assign 2 to the green part. So let's go ahead and do it. Now, it probably seems a little repetitive to you guys now, but we'll see. So this part, I'm going to shade it blue. And this part, we have been shading it green. Okay, the red sentence tells me if blue is 2/3 of green, that means if you assign 3 units to represent the green section, you must assign 2 units to represent the blue. Three, 2, 5. So how long was the entire trip? It was 5 + 3 + 2, which is 10. The whole trip was 10 units long. And out of the 10 units, she was asleep for 3 of those units. So the answer is 3/10. And I know that's the answer in the bottom. So we have it. We got it right. So just to remind you, I did 3 problems back to back, and you're going to practice more. All right, let's see what else is going on. Should be able to wrap up this packet in a couple of days. All right, 30, 47, 48. Let's see, 47, 48. Let's see what it's about, what they're about. Oh yeah, these are nice problems. And interestingly enough, at least 47 is very easy. Now we may save Lauren and Fiona for another time. Let's try 47. It's not hard. Okay, so you know the answer, but that's okay. Let's try 47. In a class, 2/5 of the students wear glasses. if there are 15 students who don't wear glasses, how many students are in class? It's actually not a very difficult problem. In a class 2/5, the 2/5 tells me, suppose the class is split into 5 equal parts. Okay, this is the whole class. This is the whole class. And 2/5 of them wear glasses. So I'm going to write glasses and glasses. 2 out of 5 parts. And blue, the blue boxes represent the people who don't wear glasses. Now, the question says, if there are 15 students who don't wear glasses, if there are 15 students who don't wear glasses, that tells me this must be the 15. So 3 cells represent 15 students. 1 cell will represent 15 divided by 3. So 3 cells represent 15 students. Therefore, 1 cell, must represent 15 divided by 3 or 5 students. Now we're almost done. How many students are in class? Well, there are 5 cells. Each cell represents 5 students. So the answer is 5 times 5, 5 students. If you want, you can write 5 here. And all the cells, I don't have room to write 5 in the cells that already have the word glasses, but you get the point. There are 25 students. Now, in the next problem that we have in our packet, I would do it tomorrow, not today, but I would like to do one more problem with the glasses. Okay, I'm just going to make up a problem and do it. You have a little bit of time. I'm going to call it 47B-A. I'm sorry. Well, let's change it. Let's make it 4/7. And I'm going to leave the 15 students alone. Oh, well, how about 27? Might as well change it, okay? Again, in a class, 4/7 of the students wear glasses. If there are 27 students who don't wear glasses, how many students are in class? So I'm going to make sure I have my class is split into 7 equal parts. All right, fine. 4 of them, I'm just not going to write glasses. I'm going to make it green. I'm going to tell you green is glasses. Okay, the green cells represent the students who wear glasses, and the remaining white cells, let me shade them blue. Blue cells represent the students who don't wear glasses. Fine. The question, the blue sentence clearly says 27 students don't wear glasses. So the blue sentence allows me to conclude this must represent 27 students. So I'm going to go ahead and here I'm going to say 3 cells represent 27 students. I want to know what 1 cell represents. Therefore, 1 cell must represent 27 divided by 3, which is 9 students. And I'm done, almost done. So what would I say? How many students are in class? How many cells are there? 7 cells. Each cell represents 9 students. So there are 7 times 9, 63 students in the class. That's my answer. So that's our lesson today. Okay, we did a lot of problems. And next class, I'm going to work on, we'll need, now these problems are a little more challenging, guys. Okay, I'm going to work on them. I'm going to do at least 1 or 2 for each. I'm going to upload some, but you want to work on it. Okay, you're going to feel very lost if you don't work on these problems. And if you don't show up to class or follow the videos, you will feel very lost. So do come to class if you have to. If you want to watch the videos and you are with the class, I'm okay with it. I don't have a problem. This is an online class, but we'll see how that goes. I'm going to click out of this session. I'm not recording anymore, but I will hang around right here in case people show up to ask questions. Once again, I'm not going away. I'm going to upload the video. The remaining part, I will be here, doing things on my computer, but I'm here, I'm available. I'm going to see how that goes. All right.